I'm underneath a car.
Have you ever felt?
Are you listening?
Check this out, use of acupuncture in people with chronic anxiety. Results found. Acupuncture group anxiety scores decreased significantly versus control group, and results were maintained 10 weeks post treatment. Acupuncture is a promising intervention for patients with chronic anxiety. A great tool to be used in. It's a lovely day today. I get to wear shorts. There's about 10 days in the year in the UK when you get to wear shorts. I'm in contact with a couple of people who are really struggling in their marriage at the moment, and I wanted to talk with the YouTube community about it and the people who listen to this vlog. Now, marriage is probably unanimously, with the people I've spoken to at least, the hardest thing you'll ever do in your life. It's made out in the films to be like a fairy tale, and everything's sweet, but it's really challenging. There's so many challenges in married life, day to day, and I think having to live with somebody is probably one of the hardest things you have to do as an individual. I think most of today's vlog is going to be out of this car because of the nature of the things I have to do today. From my personal experience, you have somebody who's hot-headed in the relationship and somebody who keeps the cool. And if you've got one of each of those, the relationship tends to last and people tend to get on. If you've got two hot-headed people, it doesn't tend to last. And it's very difficult to be the cool-headed one, the one who says, actually, you know what, it's not worth it, and it's not worth the potential stress and strain and conflict that's going to come out of this, and I'm just going to back down, even if that's not what I feel right now. I'm going to look at the bigger picture, and I'm going to nip this in the bud before it escalates and turns into something else, or before it causes irreparable damage, or 100 million other things that could be a consequence of a small conflict escalating into something big. It's definitely not easy to be the person who keeps the cool, the person who ends the conflict, the person who's able to put their needs aside and look at the bigger picture. But it's an amazing characteristic to be able to have, to be able to remain in control of yourself, or at least try to. One of my mentors used to say that a test of a person's character is not somebody who never does anything wrong. It's about when he does something wrong, how long does he take in order to realize that he made a mistake and actually take the correct actions to make amends. So everyone's going to make mistakes, everyone's going to fall and stumble in life and in a relationship, but it's about how quick are you to admit, actually, you know what, I made a mistake there, or actually I was wrong, and then move on from that and then try and learn from it, which is even better. If a marriage breaks down, there are no winners. In the short term, people may feel like they're free and they can do what they want now, but if you look at the statistics and happiness levels in divorced people, it's normally like the equivalent of having a reduction in your salary of £70,000 per year. So it makes a massive difference to your happiness levels overall, maybe not in the short term, but in the long term. The second thing is, it affects your kids. So if you do separate and you do have children, the outcomes for the children are actually quite poor for children of divorcees, as opposed to stable couples. Lastly, if you're a male, males who are married statistically live longer. The rate of divorce in this country is around 50%. It takes two amazing people to be able to make a marriage work. This is where my mum used to have to buy my school uniforms from when I was in secondary school, which was a really long time ago.
ਭਗਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਨੂੰ ਤਾਂ ਮੇਰਾ ਇੱਕੋ ਹੀ ਸੁਨੇਹਾ ਵੀ ਕੋਈ ਸਿੱਖ ਬਣਨਾ ਹੈ ਹੈ ਗੁੱਡ ਪੜ੍ਹਾਈ ਕਰਨੀ ਆ
ਹੋਰ ਕੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੱਸਣਾ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿੰਨਾ ਪਿਆਰ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੋ
ਬਹੁਤ ਪਿਆਰ ਕਰਦੀ ਹਾਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ you know he is my special great grandson